Hi friends, welcome back to QA Scripts and welcome to exciting session of TestNG real-time usage. In previous videos, we have learned different ways of using at the rate test as well as other annotations. In this video, we will use one website, open source website. We will create some of the classes and methods, and we'll learn how to use annotations as well as other capabilities of TestNG use in real time effectively. As I told in previous video, this is the website I'll be using to automate some of the scenarios. Before directly jumping into the coding, let's try to understand what is scenario, what are the scenarios we are going to automate using this website. In real time, before you start automating any application or project, you need to analyze how many methods you can create as reusable. How many pages or functionality are going to be reused in each and every scenarios. By that you can save lot of effort as well as time to develop the automation scripts. So here if you take the nobcommerce.com application, we don't have a login logout immediately, but the methods or functionality what I have decided they can be reused are launch browser and close browser. After launching the browser, we need to place the URL. Then you need to click on register link. It will take you to next page where you need to enter some of the information like gender, first name, last name, so on so. And I also decided to automate another scenario where okay, one second, here small mistake is there. Let me correct it. It's not register, it should be login. Okay, now it is corrected. So the first scenario what I would like to automate is registration. Second scenario what I would like to automate is login. Both the scenarios need some of the common or repeatable tasks such as launching the browser, closing the browser. For the second scenario also, we need to launch the browser, place the URL and close the browser. Hence, I will write two methods, one as launch browser and another one is close browser, and I will place into library functions like base class. Let me start writing the code and using the annotations. Here is the class called base test. Inside this, I will first initialize the web driver. Okay, and I have added all the WebDriver jar files to the project called QA scripts. So here I'll write one method as launch the browser. I have written a method called launch browser. Inside this, I will uh, initialize the driver object. So here I am initializing saying driver equals to new driver. What's that? Sorry, driver equals to new Firefox driver. Let me import that Firefox driver. Okay, then I will maximize the browser using some of the methods available with WebDriver interface. So here is the code to maximize the URL, sorry, maximize the browser. Then I will place the URL. So here is the code to place the URL or navigate to the URL. Here I'm saying driver dot navigate to this URL. If you use get also, it's a fine, one and same, using navigate to or get. So here I'm using get. Of course there are some differences between using navigate to and get. You can see my another video where I have explained the difference between navigate to and get. After launch browser, what I need to do is I need to think of another method, that is closing the browser. So I'll write one more method as close browser. So here is the method called close browser. Inside that I have written driver.quit so that it will close all the browsers including child browsers. And here I'm saying I'm using system.out.println to get some of the messages which is going to indicate what method and what code it has executed and what actually it has done. So this we need to use the launch browser and close browser again and again. So I'll use annotations as you learned in a previous video. So this is the method, it has to execute before any other methods. What I'll do, I'll first try to write a annotation called before test. Okay, and after all the tests a method has to execute to close the browser. So this I will make it as after test. So let me say after test. So now my reusable methods are ready. Of course there are so many reusable methods in real time when you start developing the framework, but this is not the framework I'm developing. I'm trying to demonstrate the real-time usage of TestNG and its capabilities. After launching the browser and placing the URL, I need to click on register. Then I need to select male or female and enter the first name, last name, so on so. So I will try to automate this functionality first. To automate that, let me create one separate class called register. Inside register class, I'll create one method called new registration, and inside the registration I will try to write all the code which is required to click on register link. In order to use driver in this class as well as the other methods which are present in the base test, what I need to do, I need to extend register to base test, because this is a inheritance concept. By using this concept I can use the driver object as well as the methods such as launch browser as well as close browser. So here I have created uh, I have established the relationship. Then I will write a piece of code where I'll be saying web element register link, this is a variable I have created, equals to driver dot find element by xpath, because the register link is getting identified as xpath. The element locator of register is xpath. So I have created few lines of code in Eclipse saying driver.findElements by xpath so and so. Then I will assign to the variable here. Then I will say whether that is displayed or not, is exist or not. If it is exist, then I will register link is present message display. Then I will click on. If else, I will say register link is not present. Yeah, like that I will go on create for other objects as well, such as gender, first name, last name. Okay, so here is the script. This is going to perform some actions like verifying gender male is present or not, then click on it. This line of code is going to verify first uh, name. Here in application, first name is present or not. Let me click on manually. So here is the application, first name is present or not. If it is present, then enter as QA. Then I have scripted to verify if last name is present or not. If it is present, then enter as script. So I will make this as a script and I will use @test because the methods what we have in the base test, they are going to execute before and after. They are not going to do any testing or validation on your application. So this is the test it's going to validate. So I'll start from this. So I have used @TestNG, sorry, @test, and here it's helping me to import from two ways. One is from org.jinit, another one is from org.testng.annotation, but I'm using testng, so let me select to import testng packages. So no errors as of now. So let me execute this. So how to execute this? I want to execute as a test as of now. So I'll right click and I'll say execute as TestNG test. So as soon as you start executing, the browser is going to launch, and place the URL, click the register, enter the first name, last name, and click the gender, close it. So the script is so fast. So three annotations I have used, and effectively they have performed their own task. Launching the browser, placing the URL, then entering the your first name, last name, then it was closing the browser. Perfect. Now what I will do, I'll automate login functionality. So as usual, launching the browser, then placing the URL, click on this login link, then enter email as well as password. I don't want to click on login. If you want, you can automate remaining steps. For this, I will create another class called login. So let me create a class as login, and here I will start uh, to write. I will start to write methods to click on a link called login, then do some actions like entering the email ID and password. Here is the entire script. Here I have extended my login to base test because I would like to use objects such as driver, which is defined in the base test. And here is the method called login, new login. Okay, and inside that I have written code to verify login link. If it is present, click on the link. So here is the link. So where is that? Let me go back. So it will come here and it will verify. If it is present, then it will click on link. After clicking, it has to enter email ID. So here is the code. I will verify first, is it displayed? If it is displayed, then I will enter email ID as QA scripts at the rate of QAscripts25 at the rate of gmail.com. In the same way, I will verify password field. If it is present, then I will enter password as test1234. So these are all dummy data, and I will make this method as at the rate test or testng method, so that the execution will start from this method. So let me import here and let me execute. Let's see how it works. So the execution started. Let me, okay, the browser got launched, and place the URL, clicked on the login and enter the uh, email ID and password. So it is very quickly, and if you look at the result, so we have run tests as 1 and failures as well as skips are 0, and here are the messages what I had given are getting printed. Yes, two scripts are fine. Now I want to execute these two scripts as batch. As I was explaining in last video, I need to take one XML, that is what we call as a TestNG XML. So here it is created somewhere in the location. So the location is here. So I am going to take this path and I will go directly to the folder where it is present. So here is the XML. It is already got created. I'll copy and I'll come back and I will paste it here. So I'll rename it. Let me not use it as a TestNG custom suite. Instead of that, I will say regression suite. So here is the regression suite. Let me open it. Let me see what is there. So here is uh, the XML tags such as suite, under that test, under that classes, and under that class. So since I have executed only login recently, so here it has login only. So now I want to execute register as well. What I will do, I will call the registration class here like this. So it is as good as calling each class one by one. I will make the call. So here let me take it and place it here. So in order to make whether it's working perfect or no, whether is it mapped correctly, so you can press control hold, then move your cursor on the link, I mean on the test. It should work or it should act as links. If it is not, then there is a issue. In order to run from this suite, I need to do one-time configuration. So I'll right click and I will go to run as, and I will click on run configuration. So I'll check whether project is correct. Yes, project is correct. And I will select suite radio button and I will click on browse and I'll select the regression suite.xml which is present inside the sourcing folder. So I'll say apply and run. Here is a, we're going to see the script execution. It has to execute two scripts what I have placed. So registration is happening and it got closed, the browser got closed, and here I'm getting some errors as number of tests ran are 2, one got failed, one got passed, and no skips. So which one got passed? The new registration got passed and it worked fine, whereas new login has got failed. This is because if you closely observe base test, here I'm using at the rate before test, in the sense this will execute before test and immediately it will execute another method called close browser, because here I have mentioned after test. So what actually the test is this one. What happens, it will start running the first test, that is register. As soon as it execute, the after test method will going to call, because this is a test. The tag what I have used here is a test. So in order to make sure that both are going to work parallelly, you need to create two tests. So what I'll do some modification here. I will copy and paste here, and I'll remove login from first test and register from second test, and here I'll make it as test 2 and as test 1. So I want to make a difference here. So what actually I have done, I have done some changes in XML. I have made two separate tests instead of combining. Now let me execute. Once you configure, there is no need of right click and go and configure again and again. You can directly click on this run. You will get this pop-up say TestNG suite, and again it started executing. Let's see this time. So first browser got launched, clicked registration, selected something, one test got executed. Now it will again call the before test methods. It will launch the browser, paste the URL, clicked on login, and paste the email ID and password, got closed. So both tests are getting executed parallelly. So you can create number of scripts and you can call. But you might be thinking why we should create separate tests. Can't we run all the scripts parallelly in one test? Yes, that can be done, but we need to do some changes. Instead of saying in the base test as before test, what I'll say this as a before class. So class means here. So I'll say this is a one class. The Eclipse is considering this is a one class. I'll say that for each class, call the before and after annotations. For that, what I'll do, I'll say here instead of test, I'll make it as class. So there is a one annotation called before class as well as after class. So if you use these two annotations, now what you can do, you can use that class in the classes of the same test. So now it's not going to worry about the test, it's going to take it only class level. So we have gone one more step ahead. Instead of test, we are taking consideration only classes. So this class will execute first and it will close the browser, then second class will get executed. That's a script in terms of testing. It's a script. In terms of uh, Java, it's a class. So let me execute this again. So the script execution started. Paste the URL, click on the registration, enter the first name, password, yes. Now close the browser again, it launched the browser, click on login, enter the username and password so quickly. So if you look at the report, two tests have passed, no failures, no skips, and all the messages have displayed successfully. So this is how you can use TestNG in order to run the script in batch mode. So you can write 100, 200 or 1000 script and you can call them as I showed here, start run and go for coffee, and by the time you come back, all the scripts will be executed and it will be given the result failed or passed, so based upon the application and validation. So whether validations are correct, application is also displaying and actual as well as expected are same, the script will be passed, otherwise it will be failed. Thank you for watching this exciting session, and if you have any questions, queries, or if you want to get trained by us, please reach us using mail ID, that is QScripts. You can visit to my website called qscript.com, or you can mail me info@qscript.com or qscripts25@gmail.com. If not, you can directly call us using the numbers what I have shown here. Thank you again, and we will meet in the next video where I'll be showing some more annotations as well as capabilities of TestNG and how to make scripts robust to execute on multiple browsers, because we have not executed on multiple browsers, we have used only Firefox, but how to execute the same script on other browsers like Internet Explorer and Chrome. Thank you. We'll meet again in the next session. Thank you.